trending topic. Who got the ears to the gossip? Which radio station is the hottest? And if it's sweet like honey, then I got it. If you don't tune in, then you're wrong. Honey Closet know what's really going on. So tell me something good, tell me something good. You better turn up the volume in every hood. Which clubs really poppin'? Who clothesline rockin'? Which show should I be watching? Redbone pretty, let the world know. And if it's sweet like honey, that's my girl show. Biggie Beats, turn the volume up. Chuck B, turn the volume up. J-Dub, turn the volume up. DJ, turn the volume up. Honey Claus. Honey's Claus. Honey's Claus. Honey's Claus. Honey, 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 honey's Claus. Honey, 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 honey's Claus. No one else to listen to, check her elegance. Sick of all them weak shows, here's the medicine. Kept their hands to the streets, true veterans. This is Mark's favorite damn show. I tried telling
Should be a drop down for an option. Share to a page, your page, or another page.
Stairways, my girl Honey on the motherfucking airways. Turn up, East Coast, turn up, Japan, turn up, Motherland, turn up, Europe, turn up, South America, turn up, Australia, turn up, whole world, turn up.
Woo woo. Honey's Closet in the. Wasn't you supposed to say something? Oh, honey, 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 honey.
I'm on strike.
What are you on strike for? How you gonna go on strike and not tell me that you're on strike?
Well, because that's the way it's supposed to work. You know, when you go on strike, it's supposed to be a surprise attack to have that impact.
I don't have time for your shenanigans right now. Why are you on strike? What did I do? People go on strike when they're not. So what did I do?
Underpaid.
You underpaid? Well, then you show is on strike, because. Oh, well, I won't argue that.
No pay in Honey's Closet.
But the pay's coming.
That's what they keep saying. Okay.
It's coming.
Okay.
I promise you, it's coming. So so Chris told me he had a conversation with you regarding getting me ready for Wendy the takeover. We're gonna call it the takeover of Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he's rooting for me.
Well, I'm rooting for you too, because I don't think she's coming back.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think she is.
And I think it's largely because of her personal situation with her husband. You know, it's allegedly that he has fathered another child.
It's not no damn alleged. She's showing.
Oh, really?
And she got a big ring. It's no alleged. And they have a house a couple of houses down from him and Wendy's.
No.
Yeah. So, you know, Wendy, listen, I get it. She loved him. That's her husband. I get it. You love somebody, you want it to work.
They were together a long time.
He got another boo. He's been with this one for 10 years. So, girl, how you doing? How you doing?
Not too good.
Not too good, girl. Not too good.
Yeah, because, you know, she's always been out front on giving people advice about relationships and stuff like that.
Well, she's always talking about somebody, but show is funny how she don't want to talk about her. So my new saying is hashtag let that marinate.
Right.
Before I get into before what?
That might have already marinated. It might be kind of crispy in the bottom of the pan.
Yeah, it's crispy.
I mean. Yeah.
It's turning to gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, we have a guest joining us, and he has decided to join us the whole show because he wants to get in on all the little good juicy stuff that goes on inside the closet. So I have with me TDE, which stands for Think Deep Entertainment, hip hop recording artist. This I've listened to his. Hey, go to my website, honeyscloset.com. I got him up. I got his video. We've been talking for like the last 30 minutes. This dude is deep. I love him. Deep. No pun intended. I mean, that just came. He's deep though.
Yeah, he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, JG. What's up, baby?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
It's
How we
all
feeling tonight?
Everything is good. Everything is good. So, everybody that's tuning in, I already see we got my girl Carol. We got Deep tuned in already. It's going down. We got a lot to get into this hour. So, we're gonna get into your project, Etna Jean. and where that name came from. Very interesting. And we're going to play a video of your choice from YouTube, whatever you want to play. So I know Lee's looking at me like, oh, are we? I think I forgot to say that. So if you can, Lee's going to kill me. I forgot. This is why he's on strike. This is why he's on strike.
Yeah, my ESP is on the blink. I couldn't pick up those
know. You didn't
vibes.
get that, the vibes?
You want me to play?
Okay, so it's.
Do you have the link?
It's on YouTube. It's JG.
Just the letter J and
it's JAIG, one word.
Okay.
And you go on there and you'll see a couple of it's like it has this whole project on there. You can pick some songs. So my bad, Lee. I owe you. Mm-hmm. So while we going and he's looking for that, we gave him something to do. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. So there's a lot going on in the news, right, Jay? We already know there's a lot going on in the news. A lot going on.
Too much.
I've gotten bashed. I have been called passive aggressive by 2 different people because I have posted things about Colin Kaepernick. I have posted things about the beef that's going on between T.I. and Floyd Mayweather. People are hitting me up. They're attacking me. So I'm not gonna lie. I ranted and did a video the other day, and I went off. I since then have deleted it because I feel like it's not really it is who I am, but my anger takes over the best of me. So hey, Rocky. He said, Lee, don't let her get away with that. Rocky, hush up. But the issue that's going on, so listen, we got Gucci didn't act a fool, right? So Floyd's wearing Gucci, pissing people off. T.I. did a diss record against Floyd. We all know, unless you're living under a rock, that this song, and I love T.I. I think T.I. is intelligent, and I'm praying for him. His sister had an accident last Wednesday, and she's very, very ill. So my prayers go to T.I. I love him. But we all know that this beef between T.I. and Floyd is not really about Gucci. It's about Tiny, right? So I made up a meme the other day, and it said something I didn't see nobody making diss songs when Kanye said racism or slavery was a choice. Right? So I said hashtag let that marinate. So I don't think that's it. That's that's IG. So a lot going on with that. A lot going on with Jussie Smollett. So I would like, JG, to get your opinion on the whole Gucci, Floyd, T.I. situation first.
So, I mean, first and foremost, let me say this. I love T.I. I love him as a musician. I love him, as sort of someone who represents hip hop culture and black culture and someone we can, as a community, generally be proud of. But I agree with you in the sense that this had much more to do with Tiny. And if we're being objective and fair, he had that little light taps for Kanye in that Kanye versus the People track. That was about as far as that critique of Kanye went. And industry wide, that's really about as far as any critiques, like real critical critiques of Kanye went. I mean, Nipsey, forgive me, YG, pushed his, that fuck Donald Trump track, and Nipsey Hussle kind of had a little bit on IG. So there was a couple people who were kind of still on the come up and don't really owe Kanye anything. They were willing to say something. But I think the problem is we have so few people in hip hop or, people who are minorities and are prominent in culture who are actually people we can look up to and sort of relate to and see ourselves in. And the problem becomes we want to defend those people no matter what they do because there's so few of them. And the situation with Kanye is, for whatever reason, people are afraid to critique him, honestly. And my thought has been recently that we've moved past, as a community, loving Kanye, and now people are starting to literally worship him. And I love everybody, but if I love you, I got to be able to honestly critique you and tell you when you've made a bad choice.
Right.
And I think people, for whatever reason, were afraid to do that. The same thing with Jesse. Jesse, I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's super talented. Now, I will say, full disclosure, we don't exactly know everything. It's not looking good. I mean, if we're being objective about it, it's not looking good. But we also, at the same time, we gotta wait, see what's going on. But if it is what it's being alleged to be, again, it's going to be a similar situation. People aren't going to want to attack him because he's a representative for the LGBTQ community. He's a representative for the black community. He's a representative for, musicians and artists in Hollywood who are minorities and trying to do their thing. And so it's so hard. It's the same thing we had, the situation we had with R. Kelly. People were afraid to critique him and be honest about their critiques of his shortcomings. And that's kind of putting it mildly. Same thing with Michael Jackson. When that movie that's coming out about him inevitably comes out, people are going to be afraid to be honest with their critiques of him because their love for him and really their worship of him outweighs their critical thinking. And that's unfortunate. We shouldn't be afraid to critique people that we look up to, because how are we ever going to grow as individuals if we can't see past the people that we see as heroes? You got to grow past and evolve those people. You got to surpass them. You got to try to. That's the whole point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about all that. And really these, but at the same time, with the situation with Mayweather and the clothing thing, Floyd Mayweather never set out to be the voice of black culture. He never said, I'm a leader. He never said any of those things. So to put him in that position and come at him like that when he has always stated, I just want to basically be a successful athlete and a rich man.
Right.
Let him live his life. I mean, he's not putting himself in the middle of these cultural issues. Now, I will say, as a prominent black man in America who has seen success, we would all probably agree that it's better for him to try to help the community a little bit, but he does that. So past that, we can't hold him to our standards. We're not, I like to consider myself a leader. T.I. considers himself a leader. Kanye West considers himself a leader. So if I put myself in that position, I am holding myself to a higher standard, and thus everyone else around me should hold me to that standard. You know what I'm saying? Right.
And here's my thing. I felt like people were coming at me because I have a small little, link to the Mayweather camp where I'm getting in there and working with them with some things. So I felt like people were coming to me, oh, your boy, get your boy. And people were whatever. My thing is, whether we agree if he was right or wrong, the situation with Gucci and Prada and now Burberry and Katy Perry and all these people is way bigger than Floyd Mayweather. No. And here's my issue with it. If you have a beef with Floyd, talk to Floyd. Because while we're sitting here and we're attacking each other, especially in the black community, what they want us to do, why the police love that we kill each other, while we're attacking each other and bashing each other and disrespecting each other, Gucci and Prada and Burberry and everybody else is sitting back laughing like, yeah, we got these ninjas right where we want them. They look at them. They like little monkeys in a tree. They fighting each other, and we still making money. So it's beyond Floyd. And if you want to get Floyd, especially someone like T.I., go to Floyd. Don't bash him on social media, because that's what we do. We bash each other in public, and everybody sits back and they laugh at us or they talk about us, and then they bash us. So if we constantly bashing each other, why should they stop? They doing it. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So that was my whole thing on it. Like, whether Floyd wears Gucci, and Floyd to me is wearing Gucci because he's the kind of person where you're going to talk, I'm going to give you something to talk about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you something to talk about. So, yeah. So that's what he does.
That's how he is.
Yeah. So,
and on that same line, 50 Cent only stopped wearing Gucci because Floyd said he was going to keep wearing Gucci.
Exactly.
Like 50 Cent wasn't going to burn his Gucci.
Nobody is.
Floyd Mayweather decided to keep his on.
Nobody
could have easily went the other way.
Right. Look, I have a
You
Gucci
know?
bag. It's kind of old. It's probably got it when it was way cheaper than what they are now. Am I going to burn my Gucci? No. Am I going to wear it right now? No. But the very next day that all this happened, and I went to a hamburger stand in LA, I seen a young black girl. She was Gucci down. Gucci down. And I'm like, okay, did she get the memo? Of course not. Because some people just don't care, because not wearing it is not going to stop the problem. Not wearing Gucci
and
is not
part of
going to stop the problem.
That's real. But I'll take it a step further, and I'll say that we are. I mean, let's look at hip hop culture in general, and sort of this fascination with wanting to sort of look and feel wealthy, even though our bank accounts might not match that. Like, the whole concept is sort of a brainwashing, because if you are so focused on wearing Gucci and Burberry and all these brands, you're not trying to think about how these mega multi-million-dollar companies are pimping you constantly, and then turning around and putting nooses on hoodies, right, and laughing at you about it because you're already bought into the game,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, you're ready to, you know, there's people out there stabbing each other or willing to do things, horrible things, to wear something that is supposed to be a status symbol, that the people who we would think have the bank accounts to wear that don't even buy it most of the time. Like, you look at really, I'm talking about like multi-millionaires. They don't wear that stuff. They don't invest in that stuff. They don't. Bill Gates doesn't wear Gucci. Right. Let's keep it real. He dresses from Target. Right. Like, so it's just that dichotomy and that cognitive sort of dissonance that we create, right? It is just really hard for me to wrap my mind around it. And, you know, Floyd, again, I think he enjoys that stuff, and I think he sort of rocks that gear because it's in a way it's sort of controversial, but at the same time it kind of makes him feel like he's won the game, and, you know, I can still rock this and be above it all, and kind of that situation. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard on me to see that. It really is. It is.
And I'm tired of seeing us bash each other so much. It's like, first of all, I'm very old school. Old school. So my thing is, if you got a problem with me, and this is why I did the video the other night. Everybody was saying this and you're that on social media. So I gave everybody 10 minutes to hit me up on Messenger. You got 10 minutes if you feel like you want to see me on something. I'll come to you. You can come to me. We can meet. Because I don't do this it's so easy to be tough on social media. Can you come to me and meet me? And I'm a woman. They probably could have knocked me out. But my anger at that point, I cannot stand people who talk a lot of stuff, and I'm promoting peace. How can I be passive aggressive when I'm promoting peace? So everybody, not everybody, but a couple of folks was coming to me on the Floyd and on the even the Colin Kaepernick. And so I'm like, I'm gonna give y'all 10 minutes. It's 7:20. You got the 7:30 to hit me up. I will come wherever you at. I don't do the social media bullying. I come for, you want to talk to me, we talk face to face. And it's just ridiculous. It's, so this is my thing. If we,
Go ahead. I said, you're always going to have internet tough guys. That's just the nature of social media. You know what I mean?
It irritates me. And I don't know if I need to just if I need to just be quiet or whatever, but it irritates me that people do that. Like, I'm sitting here saying, let's love each other, and y'all sitting here wanting to come at me, and I feel like people are coming at me, and I could be wrong, at Floyd because of my connection with the Mayweather camp. I can't stop Floyd from wearing Gucci. Floyd ain't gonna listen to me. You know what I'm saying? He's his own person. He's gonna do what he wants to do. So, but it's bigger than that. So, I pray that we can eventually come together as a culture, as minorities, and stop bashing each other and figure out, because let me tell you something, whether Floyd wears Gucci or he doesn't wear Gucci is not going to fix the problem right there. Floyd's not going to fix the problem. So
no, that's not his job.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not.
And that's never been a stated interest of his.
Right.
That's the thing. Again, it goes back to, at what point did Floyd Mayweather say, I want to be a leader for the black community? He never said that.
And right now, I don't know any. I mean, right now, I don't know who. You know, it's kind of hard. I don't know anybody can fill those shoes right now. What I will tell you is, you know, he's not the only one wearing it, and he, you know, and it's. I know people are mad because he just said what he said in the video on TMZ and all that kind of stuff, and I get it, and you know, but again, it doesn't fix it, but
I need to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you got to check one thing though. Okay. Look at how much, and this is something I haven't heard a lot of people talk about. Look at how much nonsense TMZ itself as a company promotes.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
TMZ is owned by one of Donald Trump's best friends. Look it up. TMZ is promoting these divisions intentionally. Okay. Don't get it. There's a reason they brought Kanye West in when he was in the middle of his dealing with mental health issues, and they had him in the studio talking nonsense. Like TMZ is not a friend of the community.
And I don't watch TMZ anymore, and I'm gonna tell you why. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised by that. And if it wasn't for the one black guy on there with the short haircut, he keeps it real for the black community. And Raquel, they keep it real for the black community. But when and we're gonna move on into Jussie Smollett. So when the whole thing first happened with Jussie Smollett, Steve Harvey issued a statement to Jussie stating, as one black man to another, man, I'm here for you, so on and so forth.
Right.
TMZ took offense to that because they're like, this is not about the black thing. They, you know, they said a homophobic slur. Well, Steve Harvey can't really relate to him being a gay man because he's not gay, but he can relate to him being a black man. But let's not forget that supposedly it wasn't just a homophobic slur, it was a racial slur, right? But everybody wants to compare their issue with ours. Let me tell you something. There's nothing. Anyone can go, and I'm going to say this, and I have nothing against gays, lesbians, transgenders. I think they have the right to be and love who they want to be and be with, and love who they want to love. They should not be abused. They should not be attacked. They have rights, and I love them. What I will say, and I can't even comment it because I was not living in slavery days. I don't know what it is. You cannot compare your struggle to the struggles of slavery. Here's one main reason. I'm gonna leave it at this. You can't hide being black. You can hide being gay. Understand what I'm saying? Yes. If you didn't want to, if you feel like you're gonna get beat, you can say, I'm not gay. You can hide being gay, but you cannot freaking hide being black. So don't compare your struggle to the struggles, not mine, because I didn't go through it, of my ancestors, because they couldn't hide it. So that's what irritates me with people when they try to compare the two. It can never be compared. So when Steve Harvey came and issued this statement to him, he issued it as a black man, not as a gay man, because he's not gay, right? But he did acknowledge the homophobic slur. And TMZ tried to make it an issue that Steve Harvey came to him as a black man versus it being a homophobic situation. So I have not watched TMZ in about 4 or 5 years. I will not watch TMZ because, and I like Raquel, and I forgot the other guy's name, Vance. Love them, but it's too much. I don't like it. So
everything you just said, if you understand it through the context of who's calling the shots behind the scenes, why wouldn't they run with that? Right? Why wouldn't they put that narrative of division? And why wouldn't they critique Steve Harvey when really he was just reaching out in a situation of love and respect and trying to show support in this situation.
Right.
The only way you can find fault in that is if you want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they were interested in anything that resembled journalism, I mean, let's be honest, they're a visual, trash gossip rag. It's no different than the Weekly World News, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just visual. So that's all they are.
Right.
To me personally, I got love and respect for the people that work there, because I do think that a good chunk of them try to do the right thing.
Right.
Some of them try to, homeboy, is it Vance, right?
Vance.
The
Mm-hmm.
dude on
Yeah.
Vance. I think he's great. I follow him on social media. I think he's, he really does try to be a positive voice for the black community and for hip hop culture and for minorities in our country. He does really try to do his thing. But overall, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It's too much for me.
We're cool.
So I hear that I hear that Empire has cut a lot of Jussie Smollett's role. So unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know that it's coming out that he may have paid these two guys to beat him. Why? Why would he do this? And I'm hoping that something comes out that it's not true somewhere, whatever, but it's not looking good for the brother. So they've cut a lot. They had a big singing part that was supposed to come up. They've cut that. So he's probably just committed career, what is it called? Career suicide or?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, first of all, shout out to Jussie. I think this is a typical reaction, right? When someone in this, in the spotlight, in the sort of cultural zeitgeist, does something that we deem might be inappropriate. Because let's be honest, we don't know for certain that he paid these people off. These are allegations, So until everything comes out, I don't think Empire as a show or Fox should be making any moves on his, the amount of screen time he gets. It's a complete overreaction. Right. So we completely support him to we completely condemn him. And in both situations, we don't have all the information.
Right.
So everybody's quick to move, right? We went way too fast. I feel like, now what is Fox going to do if it turns out he didn't pay these people? Right.
Right.
If he was actually a victim, and I'm still in the camp, I mean, again, to what is, like you had said, what conceivable reason would you have to pay two people to assault you? Right. It makes no sense on its face. Now, they are also not really talking about the letter he received, right? That letter really has not gotten a lot of attention.
Jussie.
And I don't know if you did you read about that letter he got? Yeah,
well, someone was just telling me that he sent the letter to Empire first, because there was a letter sent to Empire about attacking him or doing something to him or whatever. And so, for me, I agree with you. We need to kind of we're angry as a culture. Like we're standing up for him and we're fighting. We're going back. I'm gonna tell you, I was angry when I heard it. I was angry. And so now I'm even more angry if he lied about it. And, it's like.
Because now if someone, the next time that if he did lie, and first we got to be real clear. If he did. Okay. That's a big if. But if that is the case, from now on, anytime that anybody reports that they were assaulted and they're a minority, a member of the LGBTQ community, which I know is a minority group, but I'm talking about or a sexual persuasion, or there's a political attack. Because let's be real, people that wear MAGA hats in general, there's a huge swath of them that are terrorists, for lack of a better term. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you, in my opinion. There's a huge swath of people that wear that hat that are terrorists. And so now, if any of those crimes are committed, they're going to go back and be like, well, what if it's like this Jesse situation, and he's going to become the kickstand, right, to hold up their little weak arguments as to why these things aren't happening.
Right.
So that's the kill. That's really the hard thing. But yeah, I mean, really, the most important thing of all is to just understand we don't have all the information yet. And until we do, I don't think anybody should be making any judgment calls about him or his career or any of those things.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, we always want to give deference to, you know, to politicians and all these other people. You know, it's always wait till it comes out. But if it's, I don't understand why when it's a member of sort of our community, we want to condemn them so fast.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So just don't make no sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Here, before we get into JG the artist now,
okay.
Deep said, I think the issue is that they do something on social media and so they get addressed, aka bashed on social media. I believe that lots of people believe that addressing on social media will cause some pressure for the person to possibly change their stance if it goes viral. And so Deep, I get that. But here's the problem with doing that. As long as we continue to bash each other, it's never going to get fixed. Because they're going to sit back and say, and this is my opinion, and this is just my opinion. As long as they see us bashing each other and killing each other and disrespecting each other, then we don't have time to focus on what they're doing. Because we're constantly, this little thing has got in Floyd and T.I. and everybody else bashing each other that some people almost forgot what they were bashing for, because now you hear T.I. wants to fight Floyd and they're offering Floyd $80 million to fight T.I. And it's like, first of all, T.I., I love you. Stay out the ring, my brother. Make music. I love T.I. and Tiny as a family, and I understand his hurt because nobody wants to think of another man being with your woman. But you with your woman, you forgave her, let that go. And I'm just saying, I believe his anger is still from that versus the Gucci. Not saying he's not mad about Gucci, because he wrote a statement about Gucci, and I shared it on my page that was amazing. I think T.I. is one of the most intellectual, intelligent brothers out there in the hip-hop game so far as speaking out for our community. And he's human, though, so he's going to get mad and he's going to act out. I get that. That's why I pray for this brother. And with that being said, you know, his sister, Precious, had a really bad accident Wednesday before Valentine's Day. And I don't know if she had a seizure and wrecked, or she wrecked, which caused a seizure. She hit a tree, though. And so I hear that she's like, prayers are seriously needed. They issued yesterday, somebody said she passed away. Then I heard her daughter issued a statement saying that she didn't. She's still fighting. So I'm assuming that she's really in need of us praying. So I pray for Precious, T.I., Tiny, their whole family. And I pray that T.I. can let this Floyd and Gucci thing go, because it's bigger than him as well. Yeah. And we just come together as a nation. And, you know, if we, and you know, what made me mad the other day when I did my video is this brother said, I will never pray for Floyd. That's the most, to me, my opinion, the most ignorant thing you can say, that you won't pray for somebody. The most ignorant thing you can say, because no matter who, let me tell you something. Every morning I get on my knees, I pray for Donald Trump and his family. Every morning. I pray that God corrects his behavior, that God corrects what's going on. Do I like him? Nope. I want to fight him. But I pray for him because that's what I have to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So
you don't want him to fail, realistically. I mean, if the president of the United States fails, and this is, I don't agree with 99% of the things that were said in the Oval Office when Kanye was in that Oval Office, but the very point is, I oppose Donald Trump on almost every single thing he does. I do think, you know, all kinds of things, but if he fails, we fail as a country. Mm-hmm. So we might not want him. I don't want him to be my representative, but he is right now.
Right.
And we as a country do have to understand that on some level. There's no way up to this point I would ever support him on a policy position, nor do I feel like he has ever tried to represent anybody but his small little group of, you know, mayonnaise wearing, MAGA hat wearing crew.
Yeah.
But the reality of the situation is he is the president. And
Right.
hopefully he's only the president for a little bit longer. But
Well, and that's why I
all.
pray for him. That's the only thing I can do for him. I don't
You
think
should.
about him. I just pray for him.
You should pray for him. I mean,
Right.
this is the other thing. We have so much. Everything's become polarized, right? Everything's become, you're either Floyd or you're T.I., right? You're
Right.
either pro Kanye or you're against Kanye.
Right.
Why can't we reach a point where we're able to speak and try to understand the other side's point of view with a little bit of empathy?
Right.
We have lost so much of our empathy for each other and trying to understand where the other person comes from.
Right.
And that's represented. That's a big part of my music is I represent a lot of different. I'm a dichotomous. My existence is very dichotomous in and of itself. Right. I'm a Palestinian man, but I grew up in a real small country town. Where people weren't rapping and it was. It's redneck. It's hick. You know what I mean? So. You have that dichotomous existence, and I think that allows me to be able to speak and try to understand the other side with a little bit of empathy. And overall, I feel like that's the biggest thing that we need in our country right now is just empathy and try to understand the other side just a little bit.
Absolutely. And what an amazing way to get into the next segment. So now that we hear your feedback and everything on what's going on in our country, and I thank you for coming on and co-hosting with me the whole hour. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I get tired talking to myself because Lee sometimes ignores me a lot. So,
right.
No, I'm just
don't even matter right now.
So, JG, the hip hop artist, from you're Palestinian, right? So we don't have a whole bunch of Palestinian hip hop artists. How did all that come to play? Like, how did JG come up and decide he wanted to be a hip hop artist?
All right. So as I mentioned, I grew up in a real small country town, Excelsior Springs, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
You can look it up. A little bit north of Kansas City. It's got around 10,000 people, so it's not real big. Town's like 98, 99% white, conservative Christian, right? Your typical small town. All that being said, I was raised by my stepfather and my mother. My mom is Irish Catholic, and my stepdad is from England. And, they had those same kind of small town views. In my opinion, my stepfather was, and in some ways I feel like he still is, a racist. That was the prevailing sort of viewpoint of where I grew up. Now, all that being said, I discovered at about, I would say around like 9 or 10, I discovered hip hop. And I found it through one of the first albums I really, really got into was, of course, I got into Tupac real early.
Right.
Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Those were really like the first two artists that really kind of got me into hip hop. And then I got a West Side Connection CD. There was only one, right? Yeah, West Side Connection only put out the Bow Down album. But no, they put out the second one later. But their first album, Bow Down, I got into that. And really it was mind-blowing to me because it exposed this new world and this new world view, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't at that age really know what it meant to be Middle Eastern or Palestinian or any of that stuff, truthfully. I had no idea what it meant to be Middle Eastern, truthfully, until 9/11.
Right.
Then I had to find out. But prior to that, I just knew that I wasn't like everybody else. And feeling like you're not like everybody else in a town where everybody's listening to country music and everybody doesn't really like minorities and everybody doesn't really like hip hop music, especially my stepdad. It was a cool way to explore a new world and also kind of give him the middle finger. You know what I mean? Like that was sort of the start of that rebellious phase for me, pushing back against him, pushing back against sort of where I grew up and sort of what was considered acceptable. That was that was how I rebelled, was getting into hip hop music. Now, I got into hip hop in a big way, obviously, but I got into it in the sense that I was like a walking jukebox. Like I knew front to back every album that was hot at the time. Like I could rap every verse on every song from Jay-Z, Life and Times, Sean Carter, Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, first track to the end, I could rap every verse. Same thing with Outkast. What was the joint? Come on. The album with Bombs Over Baghdad on it. Stankonia. I could rap literally every single syllable from the beginning to the end. So that's, you know, I just got so into it that I originally, that's how I got into it. And then I started trying to write my own stuff. And it kind of grew from there.
Okay.
So I've always had an immense love for lyricism and hip hop and sort of that rebellious nature, but also the sense that it even back then, it was giving voice to a community that, to me, I wasn't getting you know, I wasn't understanding this community, this other group, and that spoke to me. So the idea that through music, I could shed light on situations that other people might not be aware of, you know what I mean? And bring sort of a general awareness to people and help people who don't feel like everybody else, who don't relate to everybody else and feel like they're loners or feel like they're, you know, they're the weird kid. I'm still the weird kid. Like I'm super out there. So, hip hop was always that conduit for me. You know what I mean? So I hope that explains it more or less.
Okay. So you've mentioned Outkast and Tupac.
Yeah.
Who are your biggest influencers in hip hop? So I'm assuming Tupac.
Yeah, of course. You know, Big Pun was another real big influence on me because I grew up as a real fat kid. So when I was young, you know, kind of seeing Big Pun, he was big, and I mean, he was real big, and women loved him, or at least that was like the persona. So Big Pun was big for me too, and I credit Big Pun for giving me confidence when I was like really heavy. You know, just seeing him with his swag, and I was like, all right, well, I ain't as big as Big Pun, so if he can do it, I can do it, you know. And so that was another way that sort of hip hop kind of helped me through these sort of different times in my life, and that's what really, again, pushed me to really want to be an artist myself. Is I want to create something that someone else can relate to, and you know, hopefully some of the music that I make can help them through some of those similar situations. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what that is.
Okay, so Big Pun, Tupac.
Yep.
You mentioned Outkast. So
Outkast, Tip. I mean, I could go on for days. Really, T.I., Nas, West Side Connection, The Game, all the cats down south. I mean, I also was coming up during that like No Limit era. Those dudes, you know, Silk the Shocker, C Murder, Mia X. Obviously, Master P, Mystical, was a big Mystical fan. I mean, like I said, it's harder for me it'd be harder for you to find an artist that I don't like, that I don't have anything I can relate to or appreciate. Even the new cats now, like, you know, 6ix9ine. I mean, even though I feel like his career is over, but
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, you don't snitch on the gang that gave you relevance. But, you know, Blueface and some of these, you know, these new cats, you know, I rock with them, you know. I don't, you know, that's not my style, but I feel like much like this situation with Floyd and T.I., in hip hop, we also have our own issues of, you know, the old school is always fighting these new cats and always critiquing them and not really supporting them. So, you know, we create that chasm with them. And then when they come up, the whole cycle repeats itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people were hating on the same cats that are giving Lil Yachty and all these new dudes a hard time. Like, I don't get it. Like, you don't have any sort of, like, you have no self-awareness at all. You know, why can't you just support these dudes that, yeah, you know, as someone who considers myself a quote-unquote conscious artist, you know, I want to talk about the ills of the world and give people a voice. Just because, you know, 21 Savage doesn't directly want to address that in his music doesn't mean he can't improve the town that he grew up in, or improve the city of Atlanta, or in the UK, or wherever that whole situation ends up. You know, it doesn't mean he still can't do good, and it doesn't mean that he can't, grow as an artist and grow as a person. And so therefore I think we as members of the community, when new people come in, whether you dig what they're doing or not, because talent is subjective, right? I mean, art is subjective. So whether you dig what they're doing or not, you should still support that dude, right?
Absolutely.
Just give them some love.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if you heard, and this could be fake news, that Ice Cube had some issues with Cardi B winning the Grammy. And he released, I believe, something on his social media, basically saying that, he wasn't cool with her winning. Her music's not hip hop. And
I mean, that's bogus. That's bogus. Bogus. Listen, would I have rather had, Pusha T win that album? No doubt. I felt like Daytona was the right look. Even, Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
I mean, I feel like he could have won
and
that
that's
too.
who he said it should have been Pusha T or Nipsey Hussle.
And that's fine. But that's ultimately Ice Cube's opinion.
Right.
And listen, I was upset when Macklemore won it a couple years ago over Kendrick Lamar.
Right. Yes.
But art is subjective. And as an OG, I got all kinds of love for Ice Cube. He's one of the reasons why I feel, why I'm passionate about hip hop and rap music. But you can't go around trying to force other people to see art through your eyes.
Right.
If we really want to be respected as an art form and as a form of effective, communication, we can't be doing that to each other. We can't be kneecapping each other. You can have an opinion,
right,
but you can't say this is not hip hop, because hip hop has to grow and evolve and change.
Right.
So you can't put constraints on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think for Ice Cube, he's one of the godfathers of hip hop. For my era, he's one of the godfathers of hip hop. And what I will say is, I celebrated Cardi when she won. I was like, yes. Do I think Nipsey? And I'm gonna tell you, Nipsey, he is one brother who helps in the community. He's over here in LA. There's a little community of Slauson and Crenshaw. He pretty much owns everything, and he grew up in that neighborhood, and he pretty much owns everything, and he's giving people jobs. Do I think he should have won? Yeah. Do I think I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't hear Pusha T's project, but for Cardi to come out and make a statement the way that she did as a female rapper and win for the first time for females, and it was her, I celebrated her. I celebrated her, and why can't we take away? Yeah, just like I got pissed off, Kanye, some years ago, he was walking up on stage, interrupting people who won. Gretchen Wilson, who's a country singer, she was the first person he walked up on the stage, and, and then he did, I think it was Beck, and, and all these people who won.
Right.
And it's like, how dare you get angry at another artist for winning? You know how hard it is, and it's based on what people like. So now you're mad that people don't like you. I mean,
but it's not even people, right? I mean, I don't think you could ever argue, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would never argue that Beck has had a bigger following than Kanye West. So it's never been about people liking one artist or more. You got to remember that there's a small group of people who decide the winners.
Right.
Or those. I mean, they don't represent. I know somebody who's on one of the selection committees, and I'll tell you, it's not a big community.
Right.
It's a small number of people. So we need to stop automatically assuming that just because someone wins something that we're not good enough.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Pusha T did not walk out of that situation saying, "Oh, I didn't make a good album."
Right.
He said, "I get selected." But
it is what it is, right?
Really, yeah. Why do you care what, in my opinion, is probably a bunch of old crotchety white folk? Why do you care what they really think about your album?
Right.
And that's why, I appreciate what Drake was kind of trying to get at.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we so invested in what these people who don't care about our culture, aren't worried about, furthering the agenda of hip hop, or the people who don't have a voice in this country? Why are we deferring to them to let them tell us who's good and who's not.
And
you know what I mean?
And I'm gonna add this, and then we're gonna move on to, because I want to play your song.
Okay, appreciate that.
At the same time, we're the reason why they're making money. We're the reason why you're making money. So you know that these people need you. Start acting like they need you, because right now you make it like you need them. In reality, they need us. They need us to pay them, drive them big ass Rolls Royces and them big old houses. They need us, and the beefs and everything else. If we stop doing that and start owning our own stuff, you know, a lot of this hate will stop. But again, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna move on. Y'all's punk anus president is giving people kryptonite. They think they got kryptonite, so they trying to, you know, oh, I can say this. And I'm telling you, I'm working on something. And I told this dude the other day, don't let your president get your ass whooped. Don't let your president get your ass whooped, because it's about to go down. Now, with that being said, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm with you. Amen. I mean, listen, I'm a peaceful dude, but you know, there's an old saying: I'd rather be a soldier who's gardening than a gardener in a war.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Some famous words of a black poet. I may not know karate, but I know crazy. That's James Brown. So, anyways, before we play your song, we're gonna play the song "Lord Remember Me." That, for some reason, I listen to your songs. I like them all. This one kind of just, I don't know. I'll listen to it over and over again. So we're gonna play that. But before we play it, can you tell me, like, right now, some people that you would love to work with? Like, who's on your roster of people that you wish you can pick up? If I told you right now, hey, I got a few people I can make happen, just give me their names and you can work with them, who would those people be?
Yellow Wolf, Big Boy, definitely out there on the West Coast. Definitely anybody in that Top Dog camp. I mean, they're just on another level with that sort of lyricism. Nipsey, of course, love Nipsey Hussle. Pusha T, Sahai. Man, you know, there's a lot of cats that I would really like to get down with. Tech Nine, of course, being from Kansas City, man, he's the godfather around my way. So
okay,
that I think that would be my short list.
Okay, so let's talk about Edna Jean real quick. Okay, because our time is running out. We've been talking so much, but tell me, and what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna end on Lord Remember Me. We're gonna end the show a little bit differently, so we'll end on Lord Remember Me. So what inspired this song and Edna Jean? So I know where the name come from. Let everybody know how you named your project Edna Jean, how that came about.
All right. So Edna Jean is my grandmother's name. And it's for me, it's because she represents that part of my life. And this first project, so many artists don't even get to this point because, you know, there's just so many things that can stop you from releasing an album. But I wanted to pick a name that was representative of me and sort of my roots and where I came from. And I can't think of anything better than my grandmother, who sacrificed everything for our family. And I reference her a lot in the project, talking about, you know, right now she's raising 5 kids, like legitimate. My grandmother right now is raising her own great grandchildren. Okay. Because I have members that are bums and they have sort of, you know, couldn't handle their business. And so now my grandma's doing that. And when a little boy, I always told her, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be a famous musician one day, and I'm going to get you this nice car. And, you know, the things that, you know, you really want to do, because I saw her suffering so much, and I wanted her to have that good life. And I pray I still get an opportunity to give that to her. But for me, this was that first step, because I wanted to immortalize her in that way and show respect to her and sort of my roots and where I came from. Okay. So that's the whole point in the Gene. Now, the track Lord Remember Me, it kind of speaks to that, right? So as a musician, as an artist, you want to be, you know, you want to be remembered. You want to create something that is bigger than you and outlasts you. And my brother recently passed away, and I started writing the song really right after he passed away. So that was on my mind, sort of, you know, how short life is, and how, you know, as artists, we need to try to push for something bigger than just money and chains and whips, and that's why, that's the hook. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slave to the chain, and it's just because you can chase those things and really miss what this should be, in my opinion, about, and that's inspiring people and trying to push people to grow and change and try to help people through hard times and really try to give a voice to those who don't have one.
Okay.
So, and that was really the whole point of the track. Yeah. So that's really what that is.
All right. So we're going to play it. We're getting ready to go into it real quickly. Let everybody know where they can follow you. And I want you to come back. I want you to come back and co-host with me again. I really enjoyed it. So real quickly, where can people find you?
So I'm on IG at JG Official. Follow me there. You can go to my website at JG Official, and that's JAIG official.com. You can check out the Edna Jean EP now on all streaming services, and you can get it on Apple Music, and you can get it off my website as well. Okay. Same. Yeah. So follow me and all that.
Thank you so much for joining me. Guys, you know how I say stand for something, you always fall for anything. Thank you for tuning in to me tonight. And here we're going to end with Lord Remember Me by TDE's hip-hop recording artist, JG. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Preach. I appreciate you. Thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Dead and gone, catch me on cut tracks, blood, quarter song, quarter verse means 5 G's, put the track in a hearse. You happen to spit, rapping, just quit, dog. Actually sit, your penis in the pens ain't actually sick, sterile. Actually this is perilous as life gets, then I'm ready to lose it all just soon as the light hits the center. God, I wanna know why I ain't feel close to my mother. Lord, you owe me answers for taking my brother. Why the Koch brothers free, but not brothers who sell a coke? Why are these rappers trying to front good? They actually broke, I'm actually dope. Lord knows, trying to free my kinfolk. The hammer blows every fucking time that my pen stroke. Let my pen stroke. Let my pen stroke. The hammer fucking blows every time that my pen stroke. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Gotta take them off, gotta take them off, take them off. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Gotta take them off, gotta take them off, take them off. How can I take it? Fuck the faking. Claim you hard, the heart is vacant. Gang complacent, I'm here to elevate. Claim you free, you speak via telemate. What you say? Homie been hella late lately, taking my time with the flow. Consider it grace, it's great, you made it, but I'm cocking back and I'm letting it go. So you sold your soul, $1 worth. Thought you was in control, it's gotta hurt. Claim that you living that life, but you gotta work. Go on, copper with me, I cop a cop, chief with the chief. Dip in the stash, get me a Senate seat, avoid sentencing your boy. Simply too dope to be fuck with, mentally gone. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Gotta take them off, gotta take them off, take them off. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Gotta take them off, gotta take them off, take them off. One more. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to lay back, make tracks and music from the blood of slaves. Never thought, never taught, never brought up thinking that there was a better day. This one for those on the run. My dreamers, hustlers who know that they'll never make it. Pray that they cease push through. They know that they will never make it. Pray that they cease push through. Damn, they may never make it. Pray that they cease push through. Slave to the lane, slave to the game, slave to the fame, slaving them chains. Gotta take them off, gotta take them off, take them off. Slave to the lane, slave to the game.